This is Radio Free Cybertron episode 897. Wow, we're almost to the big 900. I don't know why that in particular is a milestone, but I think when you tune into episode 900, it is going to cost you $3.99 per minute. That's for all of our younger viewers, that's a callback to the 90s and I guess the late 80s when 1-900 numbers were all the thing on late night TV commercials. And boy, oh boy, if you made the mistake of calling one of those, you your parents paid a heck of a lot for it, and then you paid a heck of a lot for it. Fortunately, I was smart and well educated by my parents to never do that, so I never had to go through that experience. I'm Exvee. I'm filling in for Brian Kilby this week, who is, I don't know, off to see the wizard or something. Brian was not able to be here with us this week. We wish him the best in whatever's going on. But we're going to try to carry on as best we can. I'm actually streaming the show live for the first time ever because I actually have internet that can kind of do that. Go me. It'd be nicer if I had fiber and not the evil supervillains satellite internet, but you make do with what you have available.
But you're using it. You're using something evil for good. So at least that tips the cosmic scales.
Or at least for entertainment. I don't know if I would call this good per se, but it's at least entertainment. So, there's some potentially positive outcome here. That was Headmaster Don, everybody's favorite.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
We also have Diecast.
Everybody's least favorite.
And Matt.
Hello.
John DeLuna.
Kids, do not call 1-800-COLLECT. Don't even try.
No.
Does it even exist anymore?
Well, that's a good reason not to call it, isn't it? And Rob Clay.
Yeah, I never did the 900 number thing, but I did get yelled at for racking up long-distance fees to the Nintendo Game Counselor hotline.
Oh.
I can do you one better.
Okay.
My friend Bobby, who was going to be at my wedding but couldn't due to travel situations, is one of my oldest friends from high school. He served in the Marines. He served in Saudi Arabia, the first Gulf War. He called me from Saudi Arabia. Halfway through the call, Sprint ran out of free time, and he asked me if he could reverse the charges and I pick up the bill.
Heck no!
I didn't know that, and I said yes. Mom said, Bobby's never going to call us again unless it's still on the free gift card Sprint was giving out. I said, was the bill bad? You don't need to know. Your father doesn't need to know.
Oh, good.
It's taken care of. We will never have this happen again. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Up until the day she died, she would never tell me what that bill was.
I mean, knowing the way you are about unnecessary outpays in general, I think your mom knew and made the right choice. And yeah, I don't think you needed to know what horrors you had inflicted upon your family's finances. Good job, Don.
Because if my dad had found out, I wouldn't be sitting here. I would be 6 feet under somewhere about 40 miles that way.
Well. All right, so Radio Free Cybertron, of course, is the world's oldest toy and action figure podcast, going back to 1999, with some of the world's oldest toy and action figure collectors like Don as part of our ranks. We have, as noted, almost 900 episodes of just RFC in our archives. We have hundreds and hundreds more of all kinds of other podcasts we've done and ended over the years. And just tfradio.net, man, there is endless hours of archival material there, which some of it I would be embarrassed to have you listen to, but others I actually genuinely enjoy. So, it's a crapshoot, but go check it out.
And the best thing is, when you get through all that stuff, that's just the first 900. We got another whole 900 to go.
So we're playing to end to 1800 in another 20 years?
Something to shoot for.
I mean, I kind of agree with Matt's expression when we're pitching this prospect. I've never wanted the show actively to end. I don't want to really consider the end point of this. I enjoy doing it a lot. I also don't want to think about either, conversely, the idea of still doing this when I'm 60. Because, they're just...
But can you imagine the figures we'll have at that point?
I don't think we'll have any at that point. We won't be able to... they won't be able to afford to make them. Or they'll be so small, I won't be able to see them with my myopic condition that I'll have generated by then. It's just going to be the worst.
Well, I'm gonna be positive for once in my life. I've heard that's good. I'm gonna try it for once.
All right.
I think we're going to be doing this show for a while, and we're going to really make history while we're doing it.
That's awesome. Put me in, coach. Hey, maybe we get so old that Hasbro just keeps re-releasing the same toys, and they're just new to us every time we see it.
They already do that.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, but we experience it like for the first time every time.
Oh, you're awaiting Alzheimer's.
In this regard, I might look forward
Groundhog
to it.
Day.
Be, the simple delights of forgetting everything.
51st Transformers.
This is my shelf of 15 Nauticas.
Okay, I mean, we have one Nautica so far. I don't think people would complain having a few to choose from, especially if at least one of those was not from a now very expensive and kind of hard to get on the secondary market box set that was exclusive to a retailer that doesn't even exist anymore.
And
an explicit Headmaster.
Yeah.
And there's no third-party versions.
Yeah, that's the real shame. Like,
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, third party has failed us in more ways than one, honestly.
Whose set was that for?
I think that was the Toys R Us one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, Big Bad Toy Store had the other of those two sets, which was also an okay set. I mean, I think everybody was kind of into that one for the Nautica, especially because, IDW was in the height of its popularity at the time. It was an okay toy, but I really think they should have started with Titans Return Scourge as the retool base for that. Like, the vehicle mode would just work way better.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. That's well in the past, but not as far in the past as we go because we're all old, and that's why we're like this. Anyway, what a charming and optimistic and upbeat show intro this has been. Let's get into the news. So Toys R Us has a video interview on his YouTube channel with Evan Brooks and Mark Maher. TFW has done like a bullet point summary of that, which has some interesting points I wanted to talk about. So when they were designing Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime, apparently their design brief was beat MP10. So like they wanted to actually outclass a masterpiece with their mainline toy.
Granted,
I'm surprised
masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't say beat MP44.
Because I mean, I feel like they probably accomplished that too.
Well, MP10's already better than MP44, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess they feel so too, because they totally disregarded MP44.
As well, they should. That's the correct choice.
MP44 is good to buy, never transform, put on a shelf, and say, "This is my Optimus," because it looks fabulous for the most part. But it's not a toy. It's a put on the shelf and be the prime for the shelf.
If you're gonna do that, you may as well get like the Yolopark G1 Optimus Prime kit.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
definitely. So the Knight Rider collaboration was not made with the goal of actually scaling with anything. So it's apparent being similar to Masterpiece car size apparently is just like a happy coincidence. But it's one I can live with. It's a good place for that to sit, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there is a video up for that. I believe one of the people I follow was sent a copy by Hasbro, if I remember the video correctly. We all said it was very Dotson Brother, and it is in transformation, but it is also very simple compared to some of the other collaborations we've got.
Yeah, because I mean,
so it's
if you go back to Ectotron, that's a pretty simple transformation too. Like they're in a masterpiece size range, but they're certainly not masterpiece in any kind of complexity sense.
Right? Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So
yes.
I mean, that's true. It's just I was just saying, watching it, I was waiting for the thing that they do that really like, oh, that's new. That's
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really there. It's
innovative.
It's more like
that wow moment.
Yeah, that wow moment. The wow moment is we're getting a Knight Rider Transformer crossover.
Yes.
That's the wow moment. The actual transformation, it's basically a standard feet, fold down the chest, there's the arms.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Oh,
so
he does have lights and sounds,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's probably part of the reason for the simplicity.
right.
Yeah.
But this video did not have. I'm not sure if it was a. I'm not sure what level of sample he was given, but there was no lights or sounds in this video, so I don't know. I do not know about that.
I wonder, like, if that was a provided sample for promotional purposes, I wonder if the person was instructed specifically, don't reveal the electronics yet. Like, that seems very possible.
Maybe the rights weren't secured, or they just.
I think it's more they would want people to have the surprise themselves in hand and not give everything away at once. That would be my guess.
If it does have a voice chip with I want it to be actual William Daniels.
Right.
I want it to be the right voice, and I want it to be like the stuff that we know. Like, he wouldn't say it right away. Just the stuff that when we just sort of squeal a little inside, like it's Kit. That's what we kind of want.
I mean, it's very possible that they're going to just take, like, archive audio from the production of the show, because they've probably still got the tape with William Daniels audio tracks without any of the, like, underlying music or anything, following that up. Like, they can probably get some clean samples of actual show dialogue from archival material. Like I said, the last couple weeks, I don't know if William Daniels is, like, in a condition at this point, at his age, to be able to go into a recording studio.
He is in his late 90s, I believe, at this point.
I'd like them to have messed up somehow and gotten archive audio from Boy Meets World, and it's just Mr. Feeney dialogue instead of Kit dialogue in the toy. That would also just delight me in all the wrong ways.
That would be great.
I never watched Saved by the Bell. I never watched it.
Well, that's good, because we're not even talking about it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I'm sorry. What was it then? I thought that's what he did.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World. I'm sorry. I got my teen dramedies mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm old.
So awesome.
I'm old.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
John's the goat.
Oh, that's great.
I'm sorry. Do you know how much
senior moment?
Do you know how much useless TV knowledge from the last 40+ years? I remember shows that y'all don't even remember existing.
Like Visionaries, yeah. Silverhawks, etc.
No, cheap shot.
Yeah. Well,
I remember the Superboy TV show.
Me too.
Yeah.
Super Force.
The Superboy TV show was actually pretty good, but we're kind of veering here.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
I remember Superforce.
I think Diecast was wondering about this. They are planning to show off Devastator in some form at PulseCon, which is the end of September, I believe.
That's awesome.
PulseCon is September 13th, I believe.
Oh, okay, so like 3 weeks from now.
I can't tell you how excited I am to see that Devastator. I have really high hopes for it.
Yeah, and like they were originally planning to spread it out over 2 years, which I'm so glad they changed their minds.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's such a bad idea. Like even with the movie Devastator from Revenge of the Fallen, like that was such a bad idea to spread it out that long.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, with 6 construction vehicles all the same color, I thought that's what was going to happen anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are reissuing Studio Series movie Devastator.
Are they?
So, yeah, I saw that on a news post. It's getting a reissue sometime next year, I believe. I didn't read the whole thing because it was movie Devastator, so I don't really care. But I do have to say this, Chris, and I apologize. In our Discord chat, tfradio.net/Discord,
okay,
Many Kara brought this up after Python Patrol had mentioned it. 86 concepts like the train snake that they talked about. And then Mini Kara says the Tycho train set, have it be both. Make it look like the Tycho train set, but it be this train snake from the concept movie stuff.
Maybe like this idea.
Maybe they can do that at the HasLab.
You could get away with that because Rails never had original artwork. Everything we've seen was done for TF Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that it's like that is a deep cut double whammy, and I like both of y'all for suggesting that.
And I just like our Discord in general, tfradio.net/Discord. Obviously, you know, when we stream live on Wednesday nights, we're interacting with our Discord members. We've got a pretty strong community there the whole time. So, like, if you just want a nice chill place to come talk about nerd topics, including Transformers and other things, come join in the fun. Like, it's a great place. It's my primary place for interacting with other members of the fandom, and I love our community. So you guys keep on being awesome, and I encourage everybody else to come and join too and be awesome with us. But yeah, so they were going to do Devastator over 2 years. Now they're aiming for 5 to 6 months for Devastator start to finish, which just, like, that's extremely aggressive, and I almost feel like it's a little optimistic, but, you know, good on them for trying. I think it probably does help the same colored construction vehicle problem, too, that they are spreading these over different price points. Because as far as we know, Bone Crusher and Scavenger are still going to be deluxe toys like the listings indicated, and we know we're getting 2 of them as one Commander class release.
Now, are these Constructicons being considered an A-class figure, so they'll be readily available?
I don't think so. We haven't heard anything to that effect.
Okay, that's what I'm
probably
worried about.
not if 2 of them are packed together as a commander.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried about that, like I am with any combiner as a individual component thing that's not a gift set.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it going to be to find these parts?
Yeah, we don't.
I disagree. I think they're going to
another
be
G1 breakdown situation.
They're going to be everywhere. Yeah.
To a degree. I mean, Commander classes on store shelves are an unreliable quantity. I don't know. I don't even remember hearing of anybody report Studio Series Ultra Magnus in a store anywhere. You know, Magmatron this year did show up on Target shelves. That's great. But like the Studio Series ones, I don't know if we have any like information about those, at least in the US, showing up in physical retail. So there's going to be a part of this that you're going to have to probably count on getting online. And at that rate, like with a combiner project like this, you're best to just jump on those pre-orders as soon as they go up and lock yourself in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I will say this: I've never seen a Magmatron at Target, but my GameStop has one now, and they've had Ultra Magnus in the past. That's the only place I've seen Ultra Magnus.
Okay, so you have seen Ultra Magnus in the store. So at least there is a little bit.
One of us.
Yeah. I mean it's a little coverage. It's more than 0, which I'll settle for here because, you know, if it's in Don's GameStop, it'll have been in other ones too. GameStop is actually has not been too bad. It depends by region, obviously, as everything does, but GameStops have been pretty good about stocking Transformers and other Hasbro collector lines the last couple of years. So they're starting to become like a really viable option for some toys, especially ones that you might not see elsewhere.
Especially Indiana Jones toys. You can get all the Indiana Jones stuff you want.
But who wants it?
That's why it's there.
Yeah.
But provided this method of getting the entire team out works, like if we can all find our commander classes to finish Devastator, I would like to see them repeat this in the future with other 6-member combiners. Like I would really like Leo Kaiser.
Yes, yes, I would enjoy that quite a bit myself.
Do you think we'll get that as a HasLab? Since I mean, we've talked about this before. Since they've done Death Stars, they've done Star Saber.
We could.
Yeah. Part of me feels like maybe they would try to do their own Raiden in a couple of years after the masterpieces are less fresh and it doesn't look like they're competing with the Takara product. Like, I think that might be something that they would go for, because, like, I think there's a lot of possibility of reusing some engineering between members of the train bots, so they could economize that a little bit. But, like, I think at some point the HasLabs are going to get to a point where more, let's say, esoteric combiners that don't have a lot of like mass market appeal might be a viable HasLab thing because the people who know, and they will go and jump on that. Like we all would for a nice Leo Kaiser or a Raiden that doesn't make us cry inside.
Or it could just turn into a new Optimus Prime every year.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Which is my greatest fear. Or, they just... Yeah, we don't even have to get a HasLab every year. Like Marvel's not getting a HasLab next year.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
they're not.
In terms of this Constructicon method, I'd like to see them take another pass at Predaking that way.
Yeah. I'd be interested in a better Predaking.
Yeah. Like a the commander set could be, say, Razor Claw and a dive bomb with a better wingspan for it.
Or like dive bomb could still be a separate release, but Razor Claw just comes with wing extensions for dive bomb.
Also a possibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to possibly do something like that. No, I think HasLab for some combiner projects is not a bad fit, but I'm not at the HasLab team. I don't work for Hasbro, unlike some people here. So if we have nothing else on this, I just want to cap off by saying, unfortunately, no trumpets for the Constructicons. They wanted to, but it didn't happen.
Oh, there will be.
Well, there will be, but they're not going to be part of the package with them like they apparently originally had planned to do.
Well, I think also want to mention the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Because they did talk about Titans, which Evan isn't a fan of the old Fortress Maximus Titans, so I'm assuming that means they want to possibly redo that, which is stuff we don't get a lot. Like, we don't get things that they want to do.
Yeah.
Because they usually don't talk about anything in production.
Well, this means it's not in production.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, read between the lines. It's probably not in production, but they still want to do it. They said Hisui wants to do Grandus. And Mark thinks Broadside would fit. And yes, Broadside would fit. I agree with Mark. Mark is...
Especially after Studio Series Devastator comes out, you're going to need a really big Broadside to drop on him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I'm not sure if I'd want Broadside as a full-blown Titan, though. I think Commander would be perfectly fine for Broadside.
Yeah, I kind of don't want Broadside as a Titan either, but like...
I want him to be able to stand with the other triple changers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he can be taller than them, but I think Titan is a bit much.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an element of that. I just think back to Titan's Return, Broadside, and what a disaster that was, and like, just, would they have to go as far as Titan just to be able to get enough transformation parts in there to make both modes work?
Well, they did it with Sandstorm. For the most part, Sandstorm is one of the very few triple changers we've gotten in recent memory where not one mode is completely sacrificed to the gods just to get it to work.
Yeah.
We talked about this years and years and years ago, but Broadside would make a great Transformers crossover with G.I. Joe and do it as the flag.
Yeah, of course.
So
I wonder if they could tie all that together in like a HasLab, a Joe Transformer CrossLab HasLab to get the flag as Broadside.
I think the G.I. Joe HasLabs are doing just fine on their own.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Really.
I'm just saying if they want to hit as many bullet points on this whiteboard that they have, it's Transformers, it's G.I. Joe, it's crossover, it's Joe vehicle, Transformer vehicle, character that needs a big figure. It would hit a lot of bullet points if they did that.
And it comes with a Luke Skywalker.
Sure.
And it would cost $800.
Yeah.
But no, they're barely willing to actually let the Transformers characters look like the G.I. Joe vehicles they're wearing. So I don't think they're looking to integrate things that's true.
Also, so before we move on, I just want to point out, Manny Kara says in our Discord, please don't waste a Titan so 14 weirdos can recreate this pic with a screen cap of Carnage and C minor.
Also, I don't want Broadside to be a Titan because it eliminates the possibility of any reuse of Tidal Wave.
Yeah. That makes sense. So going to...
See, I'm the weirdo who bought a small-scale Devastator so I could recreate that scene with the Titans Return Broadside.
At least Titans Return Broadside's aircraft carrier mode is completely fine. It's just the airplane, the quote-unquote airplane quote-unquote mode that is really the problem with that toy.
So fairly similar to the original.
Yeah, kind of. So to the other end of the spectrum here, Burger King suddenly has Transformers One kids meal toys with, I think, like no build-up or fanfare about it that anybody was aware of. Just like one day somebody went and got a kids meal at Burger King and there was a Bumblebee in it.
Isn't the movie still like a month away?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really Hot Wheels toys.
The Bumblebee is, the Alita is just like a little figurine.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I only clicked on the Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks sad. That's a sad looking figure.
It's a kids meal toy diecast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
They are produced for about 8 cents.
But I remember when you got a kids meal and you got them exchangeable.
I remember when you got a Happy Meal and it came with like a surprisingly nice little Beast Machines toy in it. Like that was probably the last really good Transformers kids meal pack in, those Beast Machines toys. Not all of them were great, mind you, but like they were surprisingly good on the whole for being Happy Meal toys.
That's when they were like, how much did we spend on this toy? No. We got to get cheaper toys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, over the next few years, the economics of it changed quite a bit. But, in 1999, 2000, like that was just like the cream of the crop right there.
Well, now when you get a, $20 Happy Meal, you should be able to get a $5 toy in it.
I mean, it's still a 10-cent toy because that's what they spend to produce them when they end up like this. And, your 75 cents worth of food that they charge you exorbitantly for. Let's move on. So I hope you like in-hand pictures of upcoming toys because we have a lot. So just dropped today was some in-hand pictures of Comic Edition Straxus, which looks really good.
Yes, it does. And that's not even a character that was like on my radar, and I'm still like, it looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not seen this. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
The face to neck looks a little weird to me, not knowing this character.
Yeah, that's how Straxus has always been.
Yeah, that's Straxus.
Yeah, it's very authentic.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's an even better use for the Starscream throne is for Straxus. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite DevCon level of like off the page accurate.
Yeah.
But it's I never thought I would see an actual Straxus toy, and it looks just incredible.
Considering Straxus was in 2 issues of Marvel US, and in each issue and sometimes in different pages in those issues, he had a different character model and different coloration each time, like that they could come together into a, recognizable whole with this is accomplishment in itself. I will forgive that it's not like to DevCon level of like, wow, that is the source material made 3D.
But for me, it's the flying tank mode.
Yeah.
That's the real stunner of the two. Like he's in that mode for one panel, maybe 2 or 3 panels tops. Mm-hmm. And it looks just absolutely like he flew off the page. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just hope if I get one of these that the Decepticon symbol on the forehead is a little bit more centered.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's just a little bit like skewed to the left, I feel like.
Matt knows about that.
All too well.
Yes.
I like even the comics effect tampoing they've done on it doesn't look like all that intrusive in these pictures versus the promotional photos we originally saw. Like, this actually looks really surprisingly nice to me. I hadn't pre-ordered this, but I may have to circle back and get this.
I mean, I doubt we're going to see this again anytime soon. And the closest we've ever gotten to Straxus was Dark Mount.
Yeah.
From that.
I like that toy though.
It's an excellent toy.
But now that we have an actual real Straxus, I can't see us getting anything better for this character anytime soon.
No. The only thing I would see us getting is just this again, but in a non-comics deco.
Yeah, in a recent interview with John Warden, someone had asked about like toys with specific decos, like fitting into capsules, could like possibilities for repeats, and
yeah,
the basic response was, well, the molds are already made, so
yeah. They are certainly open to the possibility of doing non-comics versions of some of the things like this. And I'm glad to hear that, but I might just get the comics version Straxus because like it looks pretty damn good in production.
I kind of want to see them do another run of G-Axis with this kind of deco.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Maybe get some nylon parts on there that don't turn like that gross green color like the normal one does.
Oh, geez, now I have to check on mine.
Oh, you probably really don't want to.
I mean, that's generally true. So.
I moved mine not that long ago. He seemed okay when last I saw.
Good.
When I identified this problem on my first G-Axis, I bought a second one when they were like $17 on Amazon. Hopefully that one hasn't succumbed to discoloration in the meantime, but that's my Schrodinger's G-Axis. If I just don't look at that one in the box, it'll always be okay.
Well, I mean, you could always say he was devoured by the swarm, so you got some headcanon to back that up anyway.
And that's why I can't find the boxed one, because it was eaten by the swarm. That makes a lot of sense in here, actually.
No, the one that's turning green.
I don't think that was an effect of the swarm, but okay. So we also have some in-hand pictures of Collaborative Agent Knight, which we were talking about in reference to the interview earlier. So these are like screen caps from a video, so it shows some size comparisons with Ectotron down a little ways, the Jurassic Park crossover, which obviously is going to be way bigger than. Like, there's no like robot mode comparisons to Masterpieces, but I would still say from what I'm seeing here, it looks like it is pretty well in the Masterpiece size range. So if you need something to incorporate this in with, that's probably going to be your best bet.
Or if you don't have Voyagers, you can always go with the or Masterpiece, you can always go with Voyagers.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a lot of like Voyager size, sports cars.
Yeah, for the record, it is a little bit shorter than Ectotron, but larger than pretty much any deluxe.
Yeah, and bigger than some of the Voyagers they're showing here too. By a little bit. It's actually just barely slightly shorter than Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime.
Oh wow, yeah.
But like the whole thing, it looks pretty solid. It looks, decently put together and engineered. You're not going to confuse it for a Masterpiece like we were talking about earlier, but like it looks pretty nice, and I'm fairly excited for it. I do want to hear what the electronics are whenever we're able to get some clips of that. But yeah, I'm pretty well in for this.
Yeah, I was just looking things up out of curiosity while we were talking before, and William Daniels has been doing conventions with the Boy Meets World cast as late as March of this year. So
that's good.
He's apparently also been doing like the remote voice oversight cameo. He's been doing stuff on there. So yeah, he may actually have recorded new lines for this. It is not outside of the realm of possibility at all.
Well, that will be interesting to see what becomes of that.
Yeah,
to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Less good to hear, as far as I'm concerned, is the Studio Series 114 Transformers One Deluxe Megatron.
It's not good to see either.
Yeah, it's a lot of leg.
It's very dull. I don't know. Just there's something about it that just it almost looks like it was rushed.
I hate to say this way, but it looks like an Authentics to me.
Yeah.
It's given me that vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I pre-ordered it so I could have one and go with my TF1 Optimus, but seeing these pictures, it's just
Yeah. They're just something's just a little off about it. It's not quite as bad from the back when you put the turret backpack piece on, but like this seems like a really, really plain toy.
But look at him
next to... are way too long.
Yeah.
And look at him next to Optimus in that one picture. It's just they look like toys from two different lines.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
it does look like an okay tank. I'll give it that. I mean, I don't want to be totally negative on
At least it's not Siege Megatron again.
Yeah,
that's a way of being positive.
But yeah, it doesn't even look right next to Prime.
Yeah, I'm canceling my pre-order for this, and I'll wait to see one in stores and maybe wait for sales.
Yeah, looking at the way it transforms in the side picture, I kind of like the way it seems to work, but just the legs did not need to be that long for that.
I mean, I guess they did, but it's not good.
Yeah, because I was hoping maybe there was a way to collapse the legs into a different format. But if you look at the pictures that show the back of the legs, it's all solid back there with stuff.
Yeah,
there's no way, because how there's like, I think it was Kingdom Cyclonus, you could adjust that a little bit.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things with double jointed knees. You could kind of collapse the knee joint to
but that's
adjust the height.
From those knees down, it is all solid materials for transformation. There's no. Yeah, I'm canceling my pre-order.
Yeah, like
Megatron looks like he was on like Jenny Craig or something for a bunch of years, and Optimus Prime was eating pretty good. Because Prime is bulky and Megatron's like a stick.
Megatron could eat no fat, and Prime could eat no lean.
Yeah, Megatron's teenage growth spurt his legs and nothing else.
Yeah, from the back, that Megatron kind of somehow reminds me of like an inner Pretender robot. Just something about it.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if you like it, and you're gonna get it, that's awesome. I'm glad you like it.
Of course.
We're just saying, for what we're looking for in this Megatron, this isn't it. Now, they are doing that big leader-ish version in Japan.
Brave Commander Optimus, yeah.
Yeah, so we might get a matching version of Megatron that would be more, again, not in scale with any other figures, but in scale with each other. That could be a hopeful option.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like to see something like that. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
That's okay. Speaking of hopeful options, is there a non-studio series deluxe of this the way there is are some of the other Transformers One characters? Because I really liked that Alpha Trion. I bet they could make a Megatron in that line that would be perfectly fine to me.
I don't know off the top of my head, but there probably will be.
Yeah, so also there I'm tempted by the Transformers One Prime because it looks less pre-yellowed, but
yeah, I mean that definitely seems to be more like straight out silver gray.
Yeah, it is. The problem is though, the arms, instead of being straight and going into pegs, they go at a V shape this way from the elbows up to lock into the back of the truck. So they're still visible. They're just not on the side on those hooks, but they're in a gigantic V with blue hands on the back of the cab. So you're really trading one bad placement for the other.
So, like, a major thing with this is the way it's engineered, which it's using the kind of trick like we used to see on Lockdowns, where you'd have the legs be the whole like side length of the vehicle mode, but you would also have like a proportionate amount of torso hidden in there too. So what you'd end up with is, a toy at a certain size class that's much taller than its contemporaries are. Megatron is not doing that. It's doing that leg trick, but it's using so little for any of the rest of it that it's like it's oversized legs on normal sized body, and it's not reading well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is definitely not for me. I'd be interested to see alternate versions of Transformers One Megatron in other product ranges, but like, yeah, the Studio Series one is just not doing it. Hopefully, this is something that they can come back around to in a year or two and, revisit this and maybe, tweak it a little bit. Maybe get like a Voyager one or something. Because, like, I like the basics of the design. I just don't like how this particular iteration of it has turned out.
Yeah. Though looking at our next story, it does kind of seem like the proportions are somewhat baked into the design.
Maybe a bit, but I think like this shows that you can have like more typical looking proportions, while still staying to the source material. So our next thing is we've got a series of pictures from Yolopark of their lineup of Transformers One AMK series model figures. So it's Bumblebee, Elita, Megatron, and Optimus in their no transformation cog and post transformation cog forms. So 8 figures total, split between their early movie and later movie designs. So basically, you can pick and choose and mix and match which looks you prefer, and get whatever figure works for you.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do these as an either-or kit.
I mean, to call these kits is still kind of a stretch in definition.
Well,
Yeah,
I know, but I mean, they're not model kits,
right?
But they're also not. But they're not fully rendered action figures ready to go out of the box.
They're build-a-figures.
Yeah, they're self-contained build-a-figures.
Yeah, I want to use the word staction, but even that's still not quite
well, no, because
right.
they're posable.
Yeah,
you're popping ball joints together. That's the kit part of it. It's just you're popping parts together.
It's just, I don't know, making 8 kits, whereas I think anyone else would have done these as an either-or build, but maybe there's just such differences between them, you couldn't do it as one kit or one box.
If their underlying design work here involved like an inner frame to put the stuff on, then absolutely you could have the option parts to do before and after. But like for how these are designed and sold, like it wouldn't really be practical. Like each one would have to at least come with a separate second torso, a separate second head, if not replacement limb parts too, because some of those details change quite a bit. It would just they'd be basically selling 2 figures in one box, and at that point they might as well just sell 2 figures.
That'd be kind of like the figure-rise Kamen Rider double figures that you could build the 2 different ones, but to make Kamen Rider double, you had to disassemble each one and then put them back together to get the because you do Kamen Rider Joker or Kamen Rider Hurricane, but to get Kamen Rider
Cyclone,
double,
not Hurricane.
Cyclone, sorry. And then, but you had to disassemble them, put them. Yeah, I see what you mean now. It'd be way more. The juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze. No.
Now, all that being said, these look pretty nice. If that gold paint on post-cog Bumblebee is accurate to what the production one's going to look like, that's really pretty. That is a really nice gold paint.
Yeah, and just to mention the cogless mode, they're smaller figures.
Mm-hmm.
The cogged ones are going to be a little bit larger. So the non-cogged ones are about
12 to 14 centimeters, so 5 inches and under.
Yeah, and then the other ones are about 20 centimeters.
Yeah, that's a major difference. I don't think there's any way you could do that as a self-contained figure.
Yeah, so there was no way to do it that way just because of size differences. So they're gonna get a little bit of a glow up once they get their cog.
I have to admit, like, if I go see the movie, or if I, stay in and see the movie on streaming when that becomes available, and it clicked with me, like, I could definitely see myself wanting to grab some of the cogless versions of these to represent the characters at that point, because, like, they're not supposed to transform then anyway, so these are pretty much the perfect representation of the characters in their initial states. And and these, I haven't gotten any of the Yolopark stuff yet. Like, Diecast and Rob say pretty much nothing but good things about them. 1 or 2 of these might be a good, like, first entry into that.
Yeah,
a nice little rabbit hole to slide down.
Rob knows I'm a fan of their larger figures. The smaller ones that I got of the G1s, they're okay. I'm not crazy about them.
Yeah, I think they're very good for the price, but their larger figures are most definitely better.
Yeah, I think this really fits in for the smaller figures, and I would be more apt to buy it, like you said, Chris, just because they're not transforming figures anyway in the movie, so it makes sense.
thing I'm wondering about. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm looking at it right, is it cogless or cogged Bumblebee that has that really nice metallic finish?
That's cogged.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering at first if maybe the smaller figures would be making up the price difference with a fancier finish. But yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to have two different price points for the. Okay, yeah, we are $14.99 for the cogless and $29.99 for the cog.
Yeah, so, see, like that feels perfect to me. Spend $15 each on a couple of the cogless ones to get the character representations. It looks like even though Bumblebee is in his pre-transformation cog state, it looks like he comes with a little transformation cog accessory though, the smaller one.
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, sure does.
Yeah,
nice.
They looks like all the cogless ones might actually have that as an extra piece. So that's a neat little add-on too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I kind of dig these. Now, if they would make, the AMK Pro Sunstorm, I'd probably, be in for that too. But in the meantime, like this has a strong leaning to probably being my first Yolopark purchases, at least a couple of these.
I have a feeling that Sunstorm's going to be an exclusive when it comes out.
Probably. But
it's going to come out.
On that note, though, we have some good news for Diecast, at least. The AMK Pro Nemesis Prime, which was an exclusive in Hong Kong at one of the hobby shows, is going to be offered on Yolopark.com on September 1st.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you may have a chance still to try to get one of those.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know there's zillions of Optimus Prime head sculpts out there, but that one I really do like.
It's nice. Yeah, the larger ones, the AMK Pros, like they've got really, really good sculpt work on them. The smaller ones, like the Sunstorm that exists and was or is going to be a BotCon exclusive this year, like I think they're working the best they can at the scale they're working. They're just like it's different. Yeah. I'll just stop there. Just be aware, Diecast, the launch time for this is 4 p.m. Indonesia time. So you're going to have to figure out the offset on that and when you're going to have to be available to try to get one of these.
I thought that's what I have you for. You're the conversion king.
No. Exvee converts our day into adventure. That's his one job.
Exvee is Dream Killer. Never forget it. He also
converts our dollars into yen and.
Well, considering you don't know what you spend on Taobao.
Well, that's yuan, not yen.
But yes, you have a point. I don't know.
Indonesia time is UTC +8, which I think equals 13 hours ahead of you. 13 or 14 hours ahead.
So it's going to be it's actually going to be like the day before. It's going to be like the last day of August.
Hey, folks in our Discord, if any of y'all are in the Indonesian area and can help Diecast pick this up, get with him. It'd probably be much simpler because you'll be there and you'll probably be awake at that point anyway.
Okay. So, Shouta says it's 5 a.m. Eastern. Indonesia is 12 hours ahead of Central. Diecast is in Eastern time, but yeah. So, that's, yeah.
13.
5 a.m. the day before? No, it'll be 5 a.m. September 1st.
See, this is why I didn't want to do the conversion, because that's the part that kind of messes me up is, like, when it crosses over into the next day on one side or the other.
Yeah.
This is a thing you can generally type into Google and get an answer for.
That's true.
Given that Google is currently AI powered, it may even be a correct answer, but it's an option.
When will then be now? Soon.
In UTC +8 hours.
Just somebody from Indonesia help him get one, please.
I think he can help himself get one. The ideal thing would be if other retailers are carrying this. We just don't know right now if anybody but Yolopark's own store is going to have these available, since it was a convention exclusive.
I think I saw that at Show Z. I'm not sure, though.
I think Yolopark is actually I'm doing a lot of pre-ordering with them because I just ordered their Ape Link and I ordered the G1 Starscream that's coming out. And now I'm thinking about ordering all of these TF1 figures, which is ridiculous, but you know.
Oh, here we go. Anani TF says, AI is great except for knowing how many fingers a human hand has. There is true. Yeah, there's no better encapsulation of the concept than that, I think.
Okay. There's the store for you. Don't have it. What I saw was a Nemesis Prime from somebody else, but it wasn't like a kit, so I apologize for that.
No problem.
All right, so our last item, Super X announces the latest in the wide world of Transformers collaborative apparel with a pair of hoodies in Bumblebee and Optimus Prime flavors. And I don't know, I might be weird for saying this. I don't hate the way these look. I don't know that I would wear either one of them, but I don't hate them.
Yeah, I'm about in the same boat. They're decent.
Yeah, like they've done the color blocking on them pretty nicely. They look, I'm not going to say subtle, but they look almost nondescript enough to be like, you know, everyday wear without just being like, hey, we're Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that Bumblebee one looks more Wolverine to me.
Yeah, I do. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, kind of does.
Yeah, they're kind of a little, I don't know, they're in between like normal, and I couldn't tell that if someone walked by me in one of those, I would never be able to tell that they were a Transformers shirt or hoodie.
Which I think is a good thing personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting a Transformers shirt, I want people to be able to know that it's a Transformers shirt.
I mean, you people have been around me when we're at events and stuff. You know, I don't wear a lot of like branded clothing. You know, I usually go for plain solid colors stuff, unless I'm wearing an RFC shirt at a convention.
Yeah, and it's weird. A lot of places, like if you work there, they won't let you wear hoodies. So it's more I work. We can't wear hoodies even in the winter when it's cold.
Okay, but like you're in charge of Hasbro, can't you just overrule the no hoodies policy?
Have you ever tried to overrule HR? That's not a good thing. Pick your battles.
I guess, yeah.
That is a hill not worth dying on.
All right. Well, speaking of hills worth dying on, it's time for what we got this week. Don let it slip in pre-show that he doesn't have a lot this week, so I'm going with him first.
Okay, that's fine. When I ordered Christy's birthday gift, which should be here tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Don's wife.
No, not birthday, anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Don and wife.
Never mind, it's a
gift.
Not
till October.
No, it's a combination thing.
Happy combination of things, Don and wife.
Thank you. I picked up the Quintesson High Commander.
Okay.
Because it was on the Walmart website for about $20, and it looks interesting. And this is the first time we've really gotten a figure of this general Quintesson, other than maybe what was in the thing from Pulse that was the pit adjustment.
Oh yeah.
You know, kind of like that. So. It's got like a mono leg. If you've seen pictures of it, but it says it's got 18 steps, so it looks like it could be interesting. So I wanted to give it a try. I found this at my GameStop yesterday, Bumblebee Series Skywarp. So I went ahead and got him because the purples and the grays in person are much richer than what you see in a lot of this photography. Because Chris, I'm not sure about you and Rob doing your photography, but is purple one of those hard colors to get right under certain lighting conditions? Yeah. So the purples and the grays, like on my monitor, it looks like it's got a lot of blue in it with the way the light's reacting, but it's actually a very deep purple that looks really nice. So,
yeah, like through zoom, it's looking like very grape.
Yeah. It is, but it's.
I'm just saying, like on this side, it doesn't. I'm not seeing like the blue strong in it, like you're describing.
Yeah, it's a very Shockwave purple, but
yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a very Shockwave purple. Yeah. Oh, good, that didn't go in Hank's litter box.
That's good.
Yes, and the last thing I got from Sagaya, for I knew what we got from Sagaya this week.
Yeah,
for $40 with free shipping, boxed Japanese Beast Wars Manterror.
Ooh, neato.
Nice.
One of my favorite Beast Wars characters as far as the molds and stuff. I've seen this thing go for over $100 on eBay. $40 shipped, sealed.
Neat.
So yeah, I do want an American carded one. Those go for stupid money, but that's one of my TF Con looks. And that's all I got on topic.
Good. Rob, what did you get at Suragaya this week?
Nothing on topic.
Did you get anything anywhere else that is on topic?
I did not say.
Okay. Matt, how about you?
I also have nothing on topic.
All right. Well, I don't feel so bad about going so long with the news at this rate. John DeLuna.
Nothing on topic as well.
Diecast?
Yes, I finally got the Dr. Wu Galvatron with the little Unicron planet.
You got Grand Galvatron.
Yeah, and I really like that the Galvatron actually folds up and transforms into Unicron. Like, I didn't expect that. And it's really, I think that's cool. The other thing I got was from Wheeljack64 in the chat. I Was Once a Man.
Oh, good.
All right.
Is that not a great looking? And the lenticular cover.
Yeah.
And that just proves they can do Visionaries holograms with those, at least with the lenticular covers. They have
such
no
a great set. It's that, and I hope they do another run so people who didn't get it, who want to get it, can. Even the snake is just so well done. His final snake form. It's absolutely amazing. So,
yeah, but I still think Hasbro really burned a lot of goodwill by putting that limit at 5. I really think they need to look at that in the future. And
yeah, that was if they knew how exclusive it was and how hard it was to get, they should have limited it to 2.
Yeah, and
I remember having this conversation about Matty Collector 20 years ago.
It was.
Yeah.
It is. It's times like this that reminds me of that Matty Collector. The thing is, though, and I apologize about going on a tangent. I'm just saying.
Everything reminds you of something else, Don.
Yeah, I'm Cup.
It's experience. You're
I was
experience, lads. You should learn to appreciate.
Yeah,
it.
I was hoping Don would just roll with that on his own, but thanks for filling in the gap there.
But it's just, even if they know they're going to all sell out, it just is a better look if they put the limit at 2.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get around the limits. There's ways to do all that crap, but at least try on the front side. Like, hey, we know this is going to be popular. We're going to limit it to 2 so as many people can get it. It may not do a lot, but at least it's doesn't hurt you for trying.
Make the scalpers work a little harder. It's not going to kill you.
I don't know. I think we hope it kills the scalpers.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Diecast?
That is all I got on topic.
All right, so as for me, I mentioned several weeks ago that I got the NonF upgrade kit for Legacy Windblade, and ironically enough, I could not find a Windblade in my local stores at that point then to actually put the upgrade kit on. So today I was out at Walmart, and they actually had restocked Wave 1 of Legacy United. Sadly, it's after the rollback to 1997 had ended, so Windblade was back up to $24.97, the full regular price. But I got it anyway because, what are my odds of seeing Windblade pop up again and then also catch a sale on it? So I just went ahead and went for it. So I had a little time to mess with it. It's a pretty okay Windblade toy. Windblade toys have been such a all over the place kind of proposition from the beginning. I think still the one I like the best is the Titan's Return Windblade, which is itself not perfect, even the Headmaster thing aside. But like it's just the overall look and feel of both modes I think hits the best. But like Legacy Windblade is kind of up there. I would almost put about equal with the RID 2015 Warrior Windblade. Which like the original Hasbro release of that was very deco challenged. The Transformers Adventure version was better about that. The RID Combiner Force release of that had its own unique deco and an alternate head sculpt, and that's like my favorite iteration of Windblade, I think, because it's kind of doing its own thing. And so like the Legacy one, there's things in its silhouette that remind me of that toy a lot. The transformation's a little bit more involved than that one, which kind of goes for better or worse. It's not a terribly overcomplicated transformation or anything. It has, I think Don talked about this to some detail at one point. It's got the thing where Windblade's hands are out and just holding on pegs on the back half of the plane, which I could certainly appreciate a better solution than that, but it's not the end of the world or anything, and we've had that on almost every Windblade toy, so I think we're kind of used to that just being a thing, unfortunately.
At least they did something with the backpack and did try to at least make it collapse a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean they shrunk down the backpack more. Like that earliest Windblade did not have particularly much backpack at all. I think getting into the stage of things where there's a lot of backpack to deal with is itself a design flaw because it hasn't always been a thing. But as you get more and more iterations, you lose. Ironically, you lose some of the variety as you get into more and more iterations because people just see one solution that worked and they want to kind of go with that again while they're innovating something else instead. Like, on the whole, it's a perfectly okay Windblade, and if you don't want one that's a Headmaster or you don't want to pay what the Titan's Return one goes for, like, I think this is probably a very decent one to get that looks like a typical Windblade. Like, it doesn't have the alternate deco thing going on like my preferred RID one. Unfortunately, I have not had the time to put the upgrade kit on this. I was only opening this during pre-show. But like that was my main complaint with this when we saw the promotional pictures and stuff, was just that the face of the wings that you see in robot mode is, it's got the hollow spaces and the gaps and the peg sockets. It just looks really bad when plenty of previous Windblades had the wings that were smooth and complete on both sides. It just felt like such a regression to go to this. And now that I've got fillers for that, the NonF ones come in red or black. I got the black ones just to introduce a little bit more color variation into the robot mode. I also, because I was I was early in the ordering process on that, got the Lucky Draw clear blue inserts too. So like I got that as an option to put in there. Like, I think having that will help address my main problem I had with this originally. And so like I don't know if this will become like the main Windblade that I display with stuff, but like it's good, it's perfectly solid, and for all the things that aren't that wing problem, I'm pretty happy with it. And then the other thing I got on topic is much like Don. When I was at Walmart, this is actually the reason I went over to the Transformers aisle looking. I got the Quintesson Commander from Transformers One. I actually opened mine. So yeah, it stands on like a monopod thing. I think it's supposed to look like it's standing on the like purple tendrils, but of course that doesn't work in practice. So it's got the little stand, and there's kind of detail like that molded into that back plate, but it's not painted, so you kind of lose the effect. It does just look like it's standing on a big plank. The articulation's okay. It's a little bit limited. It's ball joint shoulders and elbows. The lower body doesn't really pose at all. The head range is a little bit limited because of how the body shape works. Honestly, the whole thing could use some extra paint, like some accent color, or like a subtle paint wash over it to bring out some of the details. It looks, fairly plain in both modes with the bare plastic. The transformation to the alternate mode, it's not so unintuitive that you necessarily need the instructions to figure out what's going on with it. But it's not as simple as I was expecting it to be, and I mean that in a positive way. The alt mode itself it's not anything different than what we've seen in the pictures. I assume it's supposed to be some kind of spaceship. I will give away, like some of my age and my particular interest. The alt mode, to me, more than being like a spaceship per se, looks like from Stargate Atlantis, the Wraith Dart little fighter ships.
No, I get that.
Like, it would need to have like a very different coloration to really sell that, but like the lines and just the like organic feel of it really kind of lend to that, and I kind of like that. I was already kind of thinking I wanted to get a few of these to, populate with my Quintesson judges from Earthrise, but having them look like the little fighter ships like this kind of just reinforces, yeah, maybe I want a couple more of these to, have just as a little squad together. It's kind of neat. $20 might be a little bit much for it, but, on the whole, it's a neat little thing, and, like, it's a kind of unique little piece I don't think we would have gotten if not for the movie line and the storyline they're going for. Also, it comes with a singular little translucent purple Energon cube, which I'm convinced I'm going to lose any minute now, so it's going to go into my box of gaming dice as soon as I'm done. And that's all I got this week. Excuse me, as I have to take a slight drink before I roll on to the next part of this. So, we're going to move into our off-topic gets. Of course, our off-topics or ham sandwiches are exclusive to our patrons. If you would like to find out what we got off-topic, you can become a patron at patreon.com/tfradio, but more on that later. So, we will go right back around to Diecast. What did you get off-topic this week? He's working on it. You're muted?
It's the Marvel Legends Wolverine that originally came, I think, with the Bone Crusher Build-A-Figure wave.
This is Astonishing X-Men.
Astonishing,
Wolverine.
okay.
It's
okay, sorry.
85 year anniversary Wolverine, and it looks very similar to the suit he wore in Deadpool. Not totally the same suit, but definitely like the head cowl and everything, and he's got this gritting teeth, growling type face that's really cool. Just looks like a really nice Wolverine. So I'm happy to have it.
Christy and I saw that last weekend. It was fun.
The movie, yeah.
Oh
yeah, the movie was fun. But that's all I got.
Wow, well, that was brief. Matt.
No toys, but I did buy myself a mountain bike.
Oh,
cool.
Because I am horribly out of shape. So I put that to use today.
Did you ride it in the mountains?
I live in the mountains, so there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, you said you had, like, big farmland or something, so I've always envisioned you just live in, like, a big flat spot in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah, that's pretty much right.
Yeah. John DeLuna?
I got a couple things. First, I got the delivery from Walmart hey, Walmart, they shipped something, and I got it. That's the first piece of news.
Was it the right thing?
The second part of that story is that it was Crying Hound from NECA's Stump Wrestling subline for the Ninja Turtles subline to their Archie Comics subline. And by the way, we're for sure getting Cuddly, which is awesome, since Cuddly's on multiple packages, like in the background. So that's for sure like a teaser. So he's awesome. He's really good. I really do like him. their Stump Wrestling 4-pack of the Turtles. I have that, but I haven't opened it yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. But so far, Stump Leatherhead and Stump Crying Hound, excellent. The second thing I got, and it was only 2 things this week, I thought was interesting. I got it because I love the video game. I usually don't branch out too far from the lines that I collect, but I made an exception here. I really like the video game that this character and figure is from, and just the premise of it was interesting too. Like the product itself, and what it is it is from PlayStation's new line with, or maybe Sony's new line, definitely PlayStation's new line, in partnership with Spin Master. So Spin Master, one of those toy companies, exists, but they do tons of stuff, and even if it's like lawn darts or whatever. But Spin Master has their niche, and they did a high-priced $50 from the Horizon franchise for PlayStation. And for $50, she's kind of a ripoff. I'm sorry that I like her, but this is not a $50 price tag here. She comes with, I think, 5, it's either 5 or 6 swappable heads, which are different expressions, face paint, and all this stuff. If you're not familiar with Horizon, just look it up. And she comes with about as many accessories as a typical classified figure. And even though she is on paper the same scale as a classified figure, she's just a little bit too small for that to fit in on a classified shelf. So she probably needs to get like 5% bigger, 8% bigger than what she is to truly look like she's in scale with classified, even though she's theoretically she is. And for Spin Master to do a $50 single 6-inch figure is something I don't think they've ever done, or they've rarely done that. They're doing God of War. They're doing another character from Horizon. They're only doing a handful of figures so far. And it's an interesting experiment. I think that if this is the scale that they're working on, they're a little bit off on the scale. And again, I do like her. I do have her on my classified shelf. She works okay there. It's just the price tag. The price tag was just a little too much. The figure itself, very nice. Tons of paint apps, really good detail. Face sculpt's great. I'm happy with the toy itself, but the $50 just kind of hangs over her. So that is what it is. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. I liked it. If they do more characters from the Horizon line, they've got 2 slated, her and her best friend from the game, and that's it so far. If they expand this any further, I don't know if I'll go down that rabbit hole, but I am glad I got this figure to represent the game. And again, like I said, just to see what Spin Master does at $50, I think they got to raise their game a little bit though if they keep doing it.
I was thinking the whole time through that like Spin Masters with a $50 toy just is like, I would never even consider that. It occurred to me about a minute ago, what I was actually thinking of was Trend Masters.
Yeah.
I mean, I will defend Trend Masters for doing high-end re-release Voltron with like all of its original weapons and such.
Yeah.
And I think that ran me about $50 in 1990 something. So Trend Master or Spin Master, on the other hand, the idea of them doing a $50 toy after handling some of their 4-inch superhero figures is kind of terrifying, honestly. Like I got some of those. I got like a 3-pack of those for $10, and it's like, yeah, these are just barely worth that. So, like, I think that they're the figures whose capes I described as feeling like Dollar Tree gift wrap ribbon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really weird. They did it. I also don't know why Sony didn't just like, maybe they did. Maybe Sony went to Mattel and Hasbro and they couldn't get the time of day. I have a hard time believing that, but anyway, it's just an interesting, like, one of those interesting releases this year in toys that probably not a lot of people are going to pay attention to, but it's like, yeah, hey, Spin Master did this like quote unquote high end line of like 4 or 5 PlayStation exclusive characters trying to get into high end 6-inch collectibles. And it was really weird. I'm not gonna say it was good or bad. It was weird. It was too expensive though. So that's all I got.
Blade Runner is saying for $50 from Spin Masters, he's expecting a playset or Batmech.
Yeah,
I got.
That's a lot of faces.
It's a lot of faces.
Don't put her next to your Optimus Prime.
A lot of expressions and a lot of extra hands. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, it's not a $2 Horizon. I do like the figure at $30 or less. So just like hang out, bookmark it or whatever on Amazon, wait for a sale. And if it drops, I'm sure it will. If it drops 30, I think it's a pretty good figure. It's a classified grade figure. It's just not $30.
Yeah, and like I said, Spin Master does seem to mark down their stuff fairly aggressively, so you'll probably have a shot at that at 30 or under.
All right, so the question goes back to you again, Rob. What did you get from Surigaya this week?
I did get some things. I may also have accidentally started a run on Surigaya in a new community, so...
There's not going to be anything left for the rest of us at this rate.
Yeah. First thing I got, they finally got in G-Frame FA Wave 6. So the only thing I wanted out of that was the GAN, so I got it. I haven't opened it yet, but I imagine it's got to be better articulated than the MS in Action figure was.
Yeah.
So, that's why I wanted it. I got it. It's here. It's still wrapped up. I also got another few art books for this time for games I had actually heard of, and therein lies a tale. So I got the art book for one of the Final Fantasy XIV expansions, Endwalker. It was like $12-15, something like that. And most of the art books you see on Surigaya are cheap because for whatever game they're for, they come with codes for like some kind of item for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And people buy them, take the code, return the book, or sell it, however that works.
Mm-hmm.
This one actually still had the code in it for a special mascot for Final Fantasy XIV. My brother took a look at it, took the code out at my, offering.
Yes.
It worked. Those are not particularly easy to get. Apparently, the domestic versions of those codes tend to have expiration dates, but the Japanese codes do not.
Mm-hmm.
So he was telling some friends of his on the game about this, and apparently this created a run on Final Fantasy XIV art books on Surigaya. So he has warned them, and I will warn anybody who may buy them. Odds are good. They make no guarantees on like product codes or anything like that still being in our used art books when you buy them, so you may not get it if you do something like this, but the possibility is there, and the art books are generally cheap, so it's it's definitely a thing. The art book itself very nice. Squaresoft, Square Enix, I'm old, hires a lot of good artists, and apparently that expansion was more or less vaguely Final Fantasy IV themed, which is one of my 2 favorites. So, it's good to see. 3 favorites, 12 is in there too. But yeah, so that's about it for what I got this week. The only other thing being I got and also made someone else buy in this case, Hey Mickey. There's a new novel out set in Borderlands. It is not based on the movie, thank goodness. It is by the writer, however, of Borderlands 2, which is the best written thing in the entire series. And yeah, that came out in June, and I found out it existed like a week ago, and I just got it. And I told Mickey about it, and he ordered it literally within a minute. And that's it.
All right. Matt, I got you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mountain bike, right. I think that just leaves Don.
Yeah. Got some things this week. Got the, DC doesn't do a lot of stuff I'm interested in anymore because all the McFarlane stuff is basically Batman and his amazing friends. But I decided to get the Sergeant Rock figure just because it does look really nice. He's got some good gear. No gun, of course, because they don't include any guns with any of their figures. But he has a shovel. So in my head canon, he is now the inspiration for the Shoveler from Mystery Men.
The shovel is also the mightiest weapon in the known universe, according to Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Yes.
Dino Charge, yeah.
Dino Charge. Yeah, I had this on my watch list for probably 8 or 9 months on eBay, and I finally got a really good offer on the NECA Contra 2-pack. And they're also cel-shaded, kind of, to sort of look like that, and they do include like the effects parts for like the rapid fire gun and the multi-shot gun that you can put on little stands. So I thought that would look kind of neat, and I got a good deal on those. My only Strigaya, well, actually, the Man-Terror came from Strigaya. The other thing I got was a new CD from a selection of Brave covers by various Japanese artists. This is probably one of the strangest CDs I've ever gotten that wasn't like an audio drama and I had no idea what was being said, because I know these songs and I read the translations in the past. For those of you that are familiar with Brave, there's 2 main themes that I like. Gal-Gagar, which is the most popular, and Brave Command Dagwan. The Gal-Gagar theme on this is sung at a very mid-tempo. Normally it's sung at a huge high energy level, so it's very weird hearing it at a lower, slower tempo.
Do you know who did the cover?
I'd have to look it up. I can't pronounce it. I can look it up. I can look it up or take a picture of it and send it to you. The Dagwan theme is best described if you ran it through a Linkin Park filter. It's very mid to late 2000s Linkin Park Transformers movie. I love it, but it's very weird. But I got it for less than $10, and it came in one of those giant Sergaya shipping boxes, vacuum sealed to a thin piece of cardboard. So you probably could have gotten 100 CDs in that one box. Something I've had my eye on looking for a very long time. Had a waitlist order at Mezco. Waited and waited and waited. Never got filled.
It was a wait list.
Yeah, it was a wait list with the estimated ship date between April to June. Come August 1st, I messaged them for a second time and asked them, "Are you expecting any more? Have I missed my only chance?" They said, "We can't comment on our stock amounts." I'm willing to give you money, and you can't tell me whether it's even worth waiting or not. So I did find a very good deal on elsewhere and got The Shadow, which was a Mezco exclusive on their website.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah, it's just a great-looking figure. I don't have a lot of... Shadow is one of those things that I like, but not enough to do a deep dive into all the history. I like my surface involvement with it. But I have a copy of the Shadow #1 from one of the DC imprints, and this is just something I really wanted. I'm glad I finally got it. With no thanks to Mezco. Last thing I got was finally found a decent price on Super 7 Vulture Man. So now my Evil Mutants and my Thundercats are now complete. So everything is done.
Headmaster Don, your Evil Mutants and your Thundercats are complete. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to go to Disney World. Oh, and not eat the restaurants.
Nobody's that wealthy.
Yeah. Well, that's where all my money went. There goes my money. But yeah, that's that's all I got.
Once again, our off-topic things are exclusive to our patrons. If you go to patreon.com/tfradio, you can become a patron. You'll get our exclusive ham sandwiches segment. You'll also get our exclusive pre-show podcast, which I did remember to record 2/3 of this week. Go me. It's fine. If you're a patron, you won't notice anything's missing because I have local recordings, which we should be able to use to fill in the gaps. We also have the stream audio too, which I think was fine. If you are a patron, you also will get an ad-free version of the show. There's all kinds of benefits. Ad-free version of the show. You get the show the day before it goes to the public feed. So our Patreon feed gets it not 24 hours earlier, but the day before everybody else does. You get the show at a higher bit rate. You do get unedited episodes of RFC if we should have any kinds of substantive edits, let's say. If Diecast is making a particular ass of himself and Don just has to explode, we'll probably cut that out of the main show, but we'll make sure that the patrons get that, because everybody loves a meltdown. As Don alluded to, there is also the There Goes My Money podcast. It is a thing that still exists, and it will be coming back. We are recording them regularly, and if you are a patron at the Touch tier, you actually can come and record those with us. So, I mean, that's a great perk to have for our Touch patrons, because recording that show is a heck of a lot of fun. We've got an ever-growing group of people from our patron community who are joining us on those episodes. So you definitely want to come and take advantage of that if you're a Touch patron, or really, you should really consider coming and signing up so you can hang out with us. But you will also get There Goes My Money a week before that goes out to its public feed. Touch patrons are also, of course, mentioned. We give them shout-outs on the show every week. You can also check them out at tfradio.net/credits. And I'm going to give our patrons their shout-out right now, starting with Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob Owen Lutia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollis Koenig. Thank you all so much for being our Touch patrons. Again, if you would like to become a patron, help support the show and the things we're doing, patreon.com/tfradio. If you want to help us out, you don't want to become a patron, that's totally fine. We completely understand that. So what you can do instead then is use our Amazon affiliate program link, tfradio.net/Amazon. Just go to that in your browser of choice. That will set a little cookie on your account. It lasts up to 24 hours, and then anything you purchase on Amazon from that point, it'll send a little bit of referral feedback to us, and that helps us to keep the lights on, the show going on the internet. It's a great semi-passive way to help the show out, because you won't pay anything more, but we will get some benefit from that. And Amazon loses out on a little bit of money. Makes everybody happy. Of course, you can find all of our past shows and everything at tfradio.net. We are closing in on 900 episodes of RFC, and I just feel so awful having that realization, because that's so many episodes. But yeah, we have an archive going back almost 25 years now. We're dangerously close to hitting that number too, and that just really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? And Don wants to do 900 more of these. What is wrong with you, man?
Keeps us out of the pool hall.
I'd like to learn to play pool. Maybe not in the hall, but
it's a way to get the ball rolling.
I have only myself to blame for that one. You can check us out. I'm sure we're on social media somewhere. We might still have a Twitter account. I don't know, at TF Radio. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Radio Free Cybertron. We do live streams every week. We interact with our live audience through our Discord server, tfradio.net/Discord. Great community. You should come join us. We're on your podcast aggregators of choice. I am personally on social media at ChrisRTXV on Blue Sky. You can find the collection of work I've done on the internet at playwithphotography.com. You can also reach me in our Discord. And if you want to just do some random acts of material kindness in my general direction, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. That also goes through the Amazon affiliate program and sends some revenue back to RFC. Brian Kilby is not here with us this week. He usually is. But you can find the things he does over at briankilby.com. He's on social media at Kilby on Blue Sky. And, be sure to check out the Happy Day in Wilkes podcast because it's a happy day. Rob Springer also is not with us on a regular basis. You can find him at Zonebase on Blue Sky, zonebase.org, and you can check out his podcast Transform Squadron on the regular podcast feed on tfradio.net. Don, where can people try to find you on Blue Sky when you remember your password? And other places.
I did remember it. I just got to remember to go over there more.
Uh-huh.
I can be found on Blue Sky at HMRC for EVR.bluesky.social. I can still be found on X Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I also have an Amazon wish list if there's anything you'd like to buy for myself or for Hank. His cat condo is an ever-expanding progress, That is going to be tfradio.net/dauntlist.
Very good. Diecast?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can see my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/RFC-reviews. While we were doing the show, Take a Drink, I did order all of the cogged and cogless TF1 Yolopark figures because
when are those due to come out?
Nice.
September.
Oh, not much of a wait.
Yeah, pretty good.
I love those Yolopark figures, so I'm definitely, especially the smaller ones, I'll probably do the smaller ones first and then the larger ones second. Put them on the on my YouTube channel. That's going to be my goal is as soon as they come in to get them up and on the channel. Because I kind of failed with some of the other Yolopark stuff that I got. I was like, I'm going to put it on the channel, and it got really busy. And I'm hoping things are going to start calming down now that summer's over.
That's a nice dream.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in Pittsburgh this morning, and I drove home to make the show. So
now that's dedication. Driving across the state.
Yeah, it's a big state.
And it's expensive to drive across too.
Oh yes, yes.
How much in tolls did you pay to get from Pittsburgh back home?
I don't know because I have Easy Pass.
Yeah,
he won't know until he pays the bill.
Yeah,
yeah, and I just pass it.
But it's Pennsylvania, so a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Like, but thankfully they give you like a 70% discount. Or 60 or 70% discount if you use an Easy Pass. If you pay cash like Matt did, that's expensive.
Well, you can't pay cash anymore in Pennsylvania. They just mail you a bill.
Yeah, so
that's basically the same. It's expensive.
Yeah, I went to Indiana for the Eclipse back in May, and basically had to contend with that possibility going back into Kentucky to get back here. Like, there was no toll to go out of Kentucky into Indiana. It's the other way that they try to charge you. So I had to get on Google Maps and find, okay, if I get off here 2 miles ahead of the border and take the surface roads across instead, I can not pay that toll and then get back on, right in Louisville, literally 3 blocks from where BotCon 2016 was. But anyway.
Well, the thing I don't understand is when we've traveled to Pawtucket for BotCon, we went through Pennsylvania and it's like all these tolls and the roads look like this. What the hell's going on?
And you can also, I do have an Amazon wish list too. Even though my birthday was last month, if you forgot about me and you still want to get me something, I'll forgive you. But that's tfradio.net/diecast list.
John?
That John D everywhere.
Matt, where do you not want people to follow you on social media?
Probably on Blue Sky. melvar.bsky.social. Yeah. 3 L's, 2 R's. My birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. I don't have an Amazon wish list, but you can give Diecast something for my birthday off of his list.
How oddly generous.
Yeah, and it's not me. Jeez,
wow.
Wow.
Hey, you got plenty of Legends Cheetors, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, goody. I am just so happy I have all those in a box downstairs sealed away like the Ark of the Covenant.
I mean, it's almost Toys for Tots time.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say
that happen much longer.
Yeah. We're getting mighty close there. Rob?
Don't forget to get a photo of those for Elf on a Shelf Warmer.
That's right.
But at any rate, I can be found on bsky at robflails.bsky.social, ostensibly related to Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel. Basically, in that I operate both of them. That's about it.
Yeah.
But Flail Throughs is mostly at this point dedicated to Gundam gaming. Gundam Breaker 4 comes out in about a week. I am really looking forward to that because, yeah, I never thought it would happen. So, but yeah, if you want to catch that, check out youtube.com/flailthroughs in about a week. Meantime, I'm covering Gundam Battle Operation 2. We're getting another version of the Engage Gundam this week for the update. So, looks kind of interesting. And if you like what I do over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw money at me for it, make requests in either game for color schemes and specific mobile suits and weapons and what have you. And if for some reason you felt like throwing an object at me, tfradio.net/playlist, and it will benefit the show in the same basic way that the tfradio.net/Amazon list does.
Very, very good.
Link.
Yes. All right. Well, I believe that will be our show for this week. Thank you all so much for being here. Next week, we will hopefully have Brian back, and the show will proceed with lots more drinking because, of course, we're going to try to make up for him being absent this week by making him buy that much more things during the show. Good night, everybody.
No.
Recording stopped.
Hooray. All right. Live audience, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Sorry if there was any weirdness with this. I can only do so much about how my internet is at any given time. But from the look of things over here, it didn't go disastrously. So I'm all for this result. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week.
Take care, all.